Dear Derry, welcome to Motivational Monday. So, you know how a lot of times you are sitting there trying to think of something to say for Motivational Monday. Okay, maybe you're not, but there are times where I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, what am I going to talk about for Motivational Monday? And if I haven't written down any notes, I have to kind of scramble to try to think of something. You know those moments where there's something that you need, and at that exact moment, life kind of hands it to you? That happens a lot with Motivational Monday. And a lot of times it feels like when I'm Motivational Monday always seems to come down to the same thing. It always seems to come down to don't give up. You can do this. Every time. It doesn't seem to matter what I'm talking about. It always seems to come down to you can do this. Keep going. Shut up, stomach. I'll eat in a bit. Just before I started recording, I saw a tweet come in from a friend of mine who was like, I don't know if I should bother, continuing to try to texture this thing. It's just 3D project he's working on, and I don't know if he's having problems with it. It looked fine to me. I mean, granted, I'm not a modeler, I'm not a 3D artist or anything, but I mean, what he had there looked fine. I mean, incomplete, yes, but fine. But it still made me think, when I asked him, I said, why would you? It's looking good so far. And I haven't seen an answer come in yet, but I can just, knowing what I know of him, I can imagine him saying, it's just not turning out the way I want. Fine. I don't care. Finish it anyway. Even if it's not what you wanted, finish it. At least that way you finished it. It may be wrong, but you didn't give up on it. It doesn't have to be right. You just have to finish something. Because that accomplishment, more often than getting it right, finishing it, or something, or whatever, finishing something is a lot more important than simply getting it right more often. It's like I said on Into the Portal Friday. We learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. But if we never bother to finish them, is it really a failure? No, actually it's not. If you haven't even bothered to fail, you really don't learn anything. All that you've learned how to do is give up. So, and that's all you have done. That is your only success, is giving up. Don't do that to yourself at all. Ever. I think that's how I'll respond. If I see a reply coming in, oh, it's not the way I want it, finish it. Otherwise, the only thing you've succeeded to do is giving up. But in the process of thinking about that and looking around for kind of motivational quotes that are like that, I found one by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, before you guys start jumping to, Arnold. Now, one of the things if you really look into Arnold's background and you look at, some of the stuff that he's dealt with and gone through, the man is definitely not stupid. Uh, you know, he's successful because he genuinely does what he needs. I mean, he never would have won Mr. Universe if he didn't understand, commitment and seeing things through to the end, whether a failure or a success, even if you knew what it was going to be before it was done. Anyway, what he said in this particular thing is, strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. And I'm like, yes. And then all I can imagine is James Earl Jones ordering a young woman to jump to her death and like, that is strength. And I'm like, you two better argue this out. And but they're both right in their way. I mean, he's talking about your commitment to see your decisions through to the end, and in a way, so was Thulsa Doom. That is strength. Commitment. It's just, yeah. So that's today's Motivational Monday is going to be that even if you're working on something and in your heart of hearts, your mind of minds, your soul of souls, your whatever of whatevers, that you're not going to get it right, and you are getting really frustrated, and your desire is to just give the hell up before you fail. Don't. See it through, because the fact that you're going to do it wrong, maybe in the process of doing it, because you're stopping, because you keep looking at it, and you're like, no, if I put that thing on there, it's going to look terrible. It's going to look terrible. And you're probably right. You could be right. At least it could look terrible to you. It might look great to everybody else. But aside from that, what if when you put it on there, you look at it, 2 or 3 days later down the road, and in looking at it, you realize, wait, I know what I could do with this. Oh, crap, why didn't I see that before? But if you don't allow yourself to fail, you're never going to see that. So don't be afraid of failure. We learn more from those than we do from our successes. Finish your projects, no matter finish whatever it is. If you're not going to finish it, don't start it, because otherwise you're just giving up, and that gains you nothing other than surrender, and you'll learn nothing from surrendering other than how to do it again. Then it becomes a vicious cycle. So yes, allow yourself to fail. Finish the things you start, even if you know they're going to be failures from what you want them to be. All right? Don't give up. You can do this. Keep pushing through. Be careless.